Hello and welcome to a new video about work rules. This time, our work rule expert will start with an introduction. Then we'll switch to the XO scheduler to see how these steps are carried out. We'll also show you how non-training activities like office work, vacation, or sick leave are handled in relation to work rules.
In this video, we want to introduce the concept of work rules in the XO scheduler. Work rules, such as maximum work time, play a critical role in the automated assignment of human resources. Let's consider a typical 9 to 6 work environment like an office, where people start work at 9 a.m. and continue until 1 p.m. They then have an hour for lunch before beginning another 4-hour work block in the afternoon. The next day follows the same pattern, 4 hours in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. This schedule continues throughout the week until the weekend, with no work on Saturday and Sunday. The following week, the same working pattern resumes. In this simple example, the maximum work time is 4 hours, and the maximum working time per day is 8 hours. However, these work rules do not apply to roles like flight instructors, who work around the clock. A flight instructor might start a briefing session at 9 p.m., followed by a 4-hour simulator session, and then a 1-hour debriefing session. Since the maximum working time defines the maximum duration allowed without a break, in this case, we would need a maximum working time of at least 6 hours. In an unlikely scenario, the instructor might have a break after the last debriefing session and then be assigned another 2-hour lesson. Here, the maximum time per day rule does not work effectively because the instructor's duty spans 2 days. For this reason, XO introduced the concept of duty blocks. In this example, the duty block starts at the beginning of the first assignment, 9 p.m., and ends at the end of the last assignment, 6 a.m. in this case. So here we would have a maximum duty time of 9 hours, including breaks. Now the question is, when can another assignment be scheduled for this instructor? This is where the minimum time between duty blocks becomes important. Let's say in this example it's set to 12 hours. This means that the instructor's next duty block must not start before 6 p.m. the same day. Following the minimum time between duty blocks and respecting the maximum duty and work times, this structure allows for the instructor to be assigned further simulator sessions while ensuring proper rest periods. The final question to address is, what about rest days? Just like an office worker might have a weekend, instructors also need designated rest days. To understand this, let's first define a working day. A day becomes a working day if a duty block begins on that day. So, in our example, this is the first working day. This is the next working day, and so on until the final duty block. The day after this last duty block is not considered a working day, as no new duty block begins on that day. Let's clean up our screen a bit and add some example working days. XO offers an additional work rule allowing users to set a requirement like this. Within any period of, say, 7 days, there must be a minimum of, for example, 2 days off. An option is also provided to specify whether these days off must be consecutive. What does this mean? It means that within every possible 7-day window across the entire planning period, at least 2 days must be designated as off. In the first 7-day period, this rule is satisfied. We even have 3 days off. In the following 7-day period, the rule is also satisfied. As we continue to review each 7-day window, we see that the rule remains unbroken until we reach this particular time window, where we find 2 days off, but they are not consecutive. But in the last 7-day period, the rule is clearly violated because there is only 1 day off. Now let's see how this is done in the XO scheduler.
Okay, here we are in our XO scheduler. In this example, we want to assign our instructors in London a new set of work rules, the one we saw earlier in the introduction. We start by going to the Sim Slots and Work Rules page. At the bottom, we can see our work rules. To create a new set of work rules, just right-click and select Create New Work Rule. First, we give it a name. Let's call it London Work Rules. The key here is to enter the time in minutes. So 6 hours becomes 360 minutes. The maximum duty time is 9 hours or 540 minutes. The minimum rest time between duty blocks is 12 hours, so 720 minutes. The last rule says that within a 7-day period, we need at least 2 days off. And we select the consecutive option. That's it. We now see the new work rule listed here. Now, we switch to the EXO page to assign the new set of work rules to our London instructors. Select all of them. Then, click Edit Resource and assign the new London work rule. Then click Save. There's also an option to display this column with the work rules. We now can see the assigned work rules to the London instructors in this column. One important point before scheduling, we usually assign other activities to our instructors first, like for example, vacation, sick days, or office work. These activities are assigned manually. For example, right-click here to create a new event, and from the presets, choose vacation. Let's say from November 10th until midnight of November 15th. Vacations typically are not considered to be working time, so we select No for the count as workload option. Finally, we save the event. The automatic scheduler won't assign overlapping activities. But since this doesn't count as workload, it may assign work immediately after, like on November 15th. That's different for events that do count as workload, like in office tasks. Let's say we want to assign an office work for 5 days. The Count for Workload option for office work is set to Yes by default. In this case, the algorithm, using our new work rules, would not schedule anything directly after the office work on November 15th. Why that? Well, because it would break the rule requiring at least 2 days off in any 7-day period. Let us count the 7 days period together. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7th day. So there would be only 1 day off. So that's the key difference between activities that count for workload and those that don't. In another video, we'll show how to create these events in more detail. But for now, just know they play an important role in applying work rules. Now we're ready to schedule human resources automatically, and the optimizer will respect these new set of work rules. Thank you.